So I'm in a cosmic hot seat. I decided last March that I was going to get happy for no good reason, except that that was a wonderful way to create deliberately. And I had asked you the last time I was in the hot seat, not this one, but the one that you had before. I had asked, and probably not very articulately.
You can say that better.
I can say it better now.
No, you can say it better now. You can not beat up on yourself about what you said before right now.
Yeah. Okay, I asked a great question.
Yeah.
And I can ask it even better now.
There you go.
So I asked, and it was about the idea of deliberate creation, the idea of focusing on something that I wanted and putting myself in the feeling place of having that, or going and patting the cat and just getting happy for no good reason. And you said it doesn't matter. So I took your words to heart, and I went and got happy for no good reason. And I have 3 cats to pat. And I gathered a whole bouquet of about 140 ways that I love to feel. So I said, I love feeling relaxed. I love feeling powerful. I love feeling, etc. And out of my oblivion, a magnificent man showed up in my life.
Yeah.
Really magnificent man.
Yeah.
And I'm in the hot seat because I'm married. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't even looking for it. I was just patting the cat.
Yeah. So by not being specific, you didn't disallow what you really want.
That's
and
right.
in that general state of allowing, what you really want came.
Right.
Yeah. So now what?
I was hoping you'd tell me that.
Well, so far so good. Keep petting your cat.
Okay, so here's how I understand this.
Before you speak, let us give you a little piece of something. And that is, there is frequency. Esther's been having fun thinking about the 7 dwarves. There's grumpy.
Right.
And there's happy. And
Right.
and of course there's this high-flying disc. Esther's figured that there's about 200 dwarfs now. Passive aggressive and
Confused.
So there are all of these potential places that you could be. But on this high-flying disc, when you find that high-flying disc, that's a frequency. When you find something maybe called overwhelmment, that's a frequency. But when you stay there for a while, the momentum on that disc becomes more and more. So it doesn't matter what disc you're on, the more you focus on whichever disc you're on, the faster the momentum goes. And the faster the momentum goes, then the stronger the point of attraction is. In other words, it's easy to attract things that you don't want. It's also easy to attract things that you do want. And most of you have enough mixed bag. In other words, you can attract something from here and something from here all at the same time.
Are you calling me a mixed bag?
Calling all of you that. It's really the point of this conversation, is to sort of do a better job of clarifying what you want. So the question that we think would be a good one to put to yourself, or any of you to put to yourself on a pretty regular basis, is, since I accept, and we want you to accept this, since I accept about my human personal self, that I move around on these discs. I'm not consistently there all the time. I move around on the disc. I want to be there. I like to be there. I'm on that high-flying disc more now than I've ever been before. I'm doing a better job of maintaining it. Step 4 is more what my life is becoming. But I do move around on the disc because I am human and I am observing what's going on in my experience. So sometimes I'm on the high-flying disc and sometimes I'm not. So the question that we want you to put to yourself is, from which disc did I attract that? Did that idea come out of wanting to fill a void? Did that idea come out of not feeling enough? Or did it come from my high-flying disc? And you know the answer to that question when you ask it. And if the answer to it is, oh, I know that came from my high-flying disc, because I was there long enough to know what that felt like. And when whatever it was, in this case meeting someone, manifested, it felt like that, I'm sure that it was from that, then all you got to do is just do your best to maintain that, and everything will sort itself out. There's a tendency to believe that it's your job to bang things into place or to make things happen. And what you're really wanting is to just stand in a very clear point of attraction and allow what you want to flow to you. And when you're in that high-flying place and something flows to you, accept it for the perfect outcome to the trajectory that you were upon. So we'd like to say to all of you about everything, don't get in such a hurry to try to define things in such a black and white way. Don't say to yourself, well, I've attracted this and now I'm in the hot seat because now I have to make a decision. Just keep doing what you're doing, and the decision will be as obvious as all of the other points of attraction that were coming. You're never in the hot seat. If you feel like you are under pressure to make a decision about something, you haven't stabilized on that high-flying disc long enough for the momentum to be clear enough, because when the momentum is clear enough, there's not a question. There's a, this is what I'm going to do, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. This is who I am. This is the trajectory I've been on. Is a trajectory I've been on for a very long time, and nothing's going to take me from it. And if it doesn't feel like that, then sort of sit tight and do the work to feel good as much as you can, and then watch the way it plays out for you.
So, you know that quote from Einstein where he says, no problem can be solved at the level of consciousness at which the problem was created?
Well, he was a brilliant person.
So
the vibration of the problem and the vibration of the solution are two different frequencies.
Right, so focusing on the problem isn't going to get me there.
Yeah. But it will bring you more of a trajectory of problems, which will cause you to launch more of a trajectory of desire, which ultimately can lead you to what you want. It's just the long, hard way to go about it.
Right. So
you can't get it wrong.
So here's my shortcut idea. So,
well, you gave us the answer when you sat down. You said, I decided to be happy. That's the shortcut.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
the shortcut.
But there's a little more to that.
No, there isn't.
Well, I have this idea that we are drenched in love 24/7.
Yeah.
That we're drenched in that. And that comes from this vertical alignment.
Well, it's always there, but whether you're allowing yourself, most of you have rain slickers on and umbrellas and wetsuits and...
But it reminds me of that guy who had that experience with the dolphin where he got the champagne bubbles in his solar plexus. And that's what I want. I want that experience of that inner alignment. You know, I don't need to worry about what's going on the horizontal plane. It's the vertical plane where I want to focus.
Well, you don't need to worry about anything, and you don't have to make your mind up about anything. And that's why we're so appreciating your really interesting conversation here, because you sat down and gave us the answer, and then you gave us the problem. You gave us the solution, and then you gave us the problem. And then you're trying to convince us.
But the solution brought me a problem.
Say again?
I said the solution brought me a problem.
No, solutions never bring problems. They just bring more clarity that lead to greater solutions. It's the belief that you have to culminate it before the energy has brought it about that is the problem. Okay. It's the plug it into 30 amps when your coach wants 50. That's the only problem. You have access to more. Just don't get in such a hurry to decide. That's really, let the decision be so obvious that there's not a question within you.
Okay.
Yeah. Good conversation. We are enjoying this interaction. Are you? Yes. We're